Sheridan's god-awful Alan Scott Green Lantern book that was just basically gay porn that DC allowed him to publish because they have no integrity and that's what they were doing. One of the worst books ever made. You understand? I don't know if anybody bought that. If some people bought it just to really look and see how bad it actually was, it wasn't much. The book underperformed massively. It was a massive failure. Massive failure for Tim Sheridan and for comics in general. But of course, it's now being nominated for a GLAAD Award. And if anybody doesn't know what a GLAAD Award is, consider yourself lucky. It's basically just an award that they give out to people who are, representing LGBTQ. So basically, if you could push as much gayness as possible, stuff like that, you get an award for that. That's what it is. That's what it is. This article here from Fandom Pulse breaks down just how ridiculous this whole thing is. Despite being a failure in sales, Tim Sheridan's Gay Green Lantern nominated for GLAAD Award. Last year, comic fans were outraged that DC Comics took Alan Scott, a classic Golden Age character, and gave the character to Tim Sheridan to turn into a ridiculous homosexual. But absolutely nonsense. I have no understanding why they even did that to Alan Scott. They have Alan Scott in Earth 2 was gay for some reason. They did that, but he really cared about it. But no, they had to do that here now. And they just completely ruined the character. Yeah, Alan Scott didn't even want to be a hero. He just wanted to make money so he could go and buy a farm and bang his boyfriend. That was it. That was it. You really took away everything from the guy. You're no longer interested in being a hero. You didn't care to save people or do anything like that, and you figured out that was perfectly fine. Despite its failure and universal panning among comic readers, GLAAD is nominating it for an award for outstanding comic. These people don't read these books, They literally just sit there and say, listen, this has pages showing people getting it on who are of the same sex, getting it on. So that means it's an outstanding comic. That's it. Tim Sheridan's Alan Scott Green Lantern has been the cause of a lot of controversy. Mostly started by Tim Sheridan himself when he first started marketing the comic. He made a cynical video urging people to buy the book to own the bigots rather than talking about the merits of the story. I did a video on that. He literally never talked about the comic. Instead that, people need to buy this comic to own the bigots and the chuds, whatever, and thing like that, and buy it so you don't be labeled a homophobe. It was absolutely ridiculous, and that video told everybody what they needed to know so that nobody wanted to buy it. This appears to be for good reason, as the entire intention of the book seems to be about converting people to homosexual lifestyles rather than telling a Green Lantern story. Yeah, perfectly happy to do that. The first issue of Alan Scott Green Lantern borders on pornography, as it has page after page of Alan Scott half naked with another man. The series only gets worse as it goes along. With the third issue, he trolls docs in search of homosexual hookers known as gigolos. Alan Scott shows familiarity with one of these gay hookers, where the gay hooker even has a pet name for him, Scotty. This was some of the... It was absolutely terrible. That's what it was. Absolutely terrible. And then they talk about him trolling docs and all that. That was what was going on. And the story was absolutely nonsensical. This guy here was some kind of Russian spy who apparently honey trapped him because he was said that to steal some information, something like that. And the guy is not even an engineer or anything like that. No, he just comes there, see Alan Scott checking him out and realizes immediately, yes, I could get you to tell me everything so we could screw. And apparently the guy has a wife and kids back home, all kind of thing. And then to go into this weird thing where he became some kind of Red Lantern thing. And basically basically Alan Scott was telling us kind of thing about how, oh, he was killing all the men that he was with because he was jealous. It was weird, boy, really weird. Later in the series, the Green Lantern even goes to the Spectre, who is literally doing work on behalf of God, who blesses his homosexual activities and an insult to Christians and morality. Yeah, because why not? That makes perfect sense. The book sold dismally in comic shops, with readers rejecting this take on a classic character, turning it into self-insert gay propaganda. Yeah, because that's what it was. That's all it was. And people have grown so sick of that crap, that's not even funny. Apparently, Tim Sheridan also has rage issues, and he quit DC Comics because he blamed them for not supporting him enough over his book, according to insiders, rather than reflecting on the reason for poor sales. Authors sometimes blame outside forces. Yeah, Tim Sheridan's whole thing is that DC should have helped market and push his gay Green Lantern book more. My question is, who are you going to push it to? Have you all learned nothing from Joe Glass? Joe Glass literally puts out nothing other than gay comics, and then literally every 2 months is online begging people for money because he has none, and he's going to be forced to eat dog food soon or something like that. This is what it is. When you just make these things about nothing other than, this one is queer, that one is gay, you have nothing of substance to tell these stories with. And people are getting sick and tired of that. You want to base these things on nothing more than pushing agendas and saying, listen, all you need to do is just buy this because of this one agenda. And because if you don't buy it, you're going to be labeled. And people are like, no, I actually want some entertainment here. It needs to be an actual good book. And this wasn't. It was a terrible book. But no, apparently GLAAD thought it was great. The article says here, GLAAD is an evil organization promoting the homosexual agenda in American culture and has an annual award to where they pick the most degenerate comic books and try to get them accolades. Yeah, because apparently writing good books don't matter anymore. This year's nominees list, you have Alan Scott Green Lantern by Tim Sheridan, Avengers Academy Marvel's Voices by Anthony Oliveira, yeah, because that had to be as gay as possible. Captain Marvel by Alyssa Wong. Yes, when Alyssa Wong self-inserted a character in there who looked basically like her and was a lesbian because, it kind of a book if somebody isn't trying to dry hump Captain Marvel. I Heart Skullcrusher by Josie Campbell. I have no idea what that is. The Nice House by the Sea by James Tynion. Don't get what that. NYX by Jackson Lanzik and Colin Kelly. Well, yeah, that book was just literally riddled with crap. That's what it was, riddled with crap, and there's no doubt that plenty of that in there as well. The Oddly Pedestrian Life of Christopher Chaos. Don't know what that is. Poison Ivy by G. Willow Wilson and Marcio Takara. Yeah, because ever since they changed Poison Ivy into Harley Quinn's girlfriend, that's all she can ever be. And that's all will ever be. Even when the comic is good and it has some interesting thing about the Poison Ivy book, it's always going to be hanging around there because that's what it's always going to be about. Spectrograph by James Tynion, Suicide Squad Dream Team by Nicole Maines. Yes, Suicide Squad Dream Team by Nicole Maines. Right? Nicole Maines was transgender and played a transgender character in the Arrowverse, and apparently that's all you need to write comic books when it comes to DC. Let's give you that. Yeah, perfect sense. All of the books contain tokenizations of gay and lesbian characters to try to push their agenda, and with Alan Scott Green Lantern at the top of the list, it's clear because of the over-the-top lecturing readers receive on the topic that they want to push this as the norm for comic books, even though fans and readers reject them by dropping the books when they see it. Yeah. Bottom line of it is, this is the kind of nonsense that Alan Scott Green Lantern book had, and then they just put that there like this is supposed to be something. You took a character, Alan Scott was the first Green Lantern. You could have told a story about him, finding the lantern, getting the ring, exploring the deeper meaning of his powers, what happens with them, where they come from, something like that, because his powers are basically magic based, unlike the actual Green Lantern, which are with all his magic. Because you have stories you could tell there. No, better thing to do is put out stories about him banging male prostitutes, banging some guy, trolling the docks looking for male hookers, or just constantly making everything as absolutely ridiculous as possible. But no, this deserves an award from GLAAD. Well, clearly, because that's what they're pushing for. But the bottom line of it is, nobody read this. Tim Sheridan lost his crap over it and rage quit DC, and apparently he thought people would care. But this was a waste of time as a book, and a waste of time as everything. So it gets an award from GLAAD. Good for Tim Sheridan. He got a nothing award for making nothing. Perfect for him, as I'm concerned. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I put a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.